And I was like, what? So we came up with some ideas and then had you guys give us some ideas. If we were to do a show, like a social media, live streaming, you guys come up with the ideas, you guys help cast it, you guys help write it, show, what would it be about, who would be in it, what would it look like, what would you do?
What ideas did anybody come up with? Or are we going to try to plant the seeds ourselves? I've been thinking about it, obviously. But before I get to my ideas, I don't know. Did you think of any ideas? Anything come across?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't 1,000%.
You don't understand.
Get, but I want to. I just don't fully understand. Like, is this like a talk show? Like,
I don't think it's a talk show. I think it's a show. Like, I think it's a scripted.
From what I understood,
scripted show.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I've heard ideas like Jenna does tap dancing on Broadway. Like that, I wouldn't do that.
Okay, so let's
tap dance.
Let's start off at so if we were going to have a creative process where we were going to be writing a show, like a play.
A play.
A play. Let's say we were going to be writing a play.
Is it a comedy?
So that's the question. Are we looking for comedy or drama?
Comedy.
Okay, so we're looking for a comedy show.
Yeah.
Okay, and would we be able to sort of jump to a point in the future? It's a comedy, it's fiction, right? I'm assuming it's fiction,
not sci-fi.
Not sci-fi, but fiction.
Fiction.
Right. Okay, so we're doing fiction, not sci-fi. So now we've already narrowed it down in this creative process to how we're doing it. We're going to allow audience involvement.
Yes.
Okay, so the audience is going to be part of the show, which if we were keeping true and developing this sort of scripted show in a live video format, some of that will be unpredictable because we're not going to be able to keep out comments. We're not going to be able to.
You know, now I'm thinking, wouldn't it be cool knowing, well, they've sort of done this, but not really, they've done it on TV. Wouldn't it be cool if we started like improv with social media improv, right? Live streaming improv. So we're doing improv, like you get a couple actors or us or me and like Josh and a couple other people, and we're starting to do this thing, and then people give us suggestions and we have to quickly change. You know, they've done that on TV, but never on social media. And for a half hour, we have to quickly, oh, now you're in a grocery store. Oh, a bad guy just came in. You know, like someone just, whatever. I don't know. That would be interesting. Okay, keep going.
So yeah, so that's part of what, that's another avenue to take this down. But so now we're in this. Darren is pointing out that improv thing is being done.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm not on Dr. Oz today. I don't know why I have this. I mean, I'm sure I'm not, but every day at 2, we should probably just double check.
Okay.
But I'm listening to you. Go on.
So we have this comedy. It's fiction. It's going to be a comedy, a fictional comedy.
Yes.
Right, with audience involvement. Darren was pointing out not too much audience involvement.
Why does he want not too much?
I think to sort of keep the script on.
Oh, okay.
Is that, Darren, is that right, Darren? Not too much audience involvement. But what we're doing is we have that, and so let's.
Okay.
Where I filter the audience involvement makes sense, and we're going to try to keep this. Are you guys here?
I'm right here.
Okay. So ideas for this would be here. I would sort of say just as an example where my head went to on this is we jump forward to
when you say jump forward, like future?
To the future, yeah.
For example.
So we jump forward to as an example, let's say in Seinfeld, they look to the future sometimes. So they look to the past. They have these, this is future. Like on 2.5 Men, Charlie Harper will look at future Charlie or past Charlie. It could be a dream. It could be a dream sequence. Okay, so we have a dream sequence where, for instance, you are dreaming. Okay. And you're dreaming, and you see.
But is this just one scene of the show? Or
this is just one scene of the show, but it gives us a pivot point for the show potentially.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to do is when we.
But what's the show about? Before we get into like pivot points, like what do you see the show is about?
So, this particular show that I.
Sorry.
That's all I want.
I guess so. I guess I missed it. I thought it was on too. Yeah.
Okay. I can't pitch, right? So basically, what Kaiser Sose is saying is that I can't pitch, and so basically we could start here. Here's our Kaiser Sose says I can't pitch, and that's the beginning of our show. So we start with me not being able to pitch a show. I'm not able to develop a show.
So you're a character in the show.
I'm part of the show because the show is here. Like we're
okay.
Okay, so I'm now a character in the show.
Okay.
You're a character in the show.
I'm a character in the show.
Darren is a character in the show.
Darren's
and Darren's like, hey, you know what I want? I want to make Jenna.
I want to what?
I want to make Jenna. Okay, so we basically jump forward to a planet that has a healthy McDonald's. This is my fictional version of a show that we do on social media. How does everybody work together? You have this puzzled look on your face.
I'm trying to think of something that's yeah, go on.
This reminds me of the Seinfeld episode where they think of show ideas. That's what Darren's saying.
I'm doing the lines from it.
And then everybody falls asleep. Okay, well, I apologize.
Then Kramer walks in here. Hey, Kramer, come in! No, I'll let you wear. No, we need you here. Come here, Kramer. What's going on?
So based on what I've seen with our audience,
yeah.
Our audience likes having you at McDonald's.
Okay.
So one of the things that I kind of see through this is if we could create a show centered around our efforts to make McDonald's healthy eating.
But how's that funny? The funny thing would be to go to McDonald's, travel all to different McDonald's, and do something funny.
The funny thing would be exactly. So it's like the funny things, like we started off the other day with you ordering at McDonald's. You ordering at McDonald's was funny. Your faces eating McDonald's fries was funny. There's a lot of funny things that happens at a McDonald's. So we would basically...
Now, does it have to be just McDonald's? Can it just be to take on the world of fast food?
Well, it could be taking on the world of fast food. It could be changing everybody's eating habits. But basically, this show, in my mind, would get at sort of what our show has a lot about, which is healthy eating, and how do we sort of go and utilize this show to, okay. That's actually, here's a good point. So A. Deucer says, I don't think it's McDonald's. I think it's Jenna doing something new or out of her comfort zone. So like yelling at the speaker was funny. So that's what is part of this whole thing is Jenna out of her comfort zone, or in this particular thing, we basically have this show where it's just about one show is how Jenna got out of her comfort zone to try to change the world of eating and how to change the world of fast food.
But it doesn't. But what if the success was not just because I ate French fries at McDonald's? What if like I went and like I go. It's like do the crazy jobs. Go to a farm and figure out the guy that has to pull the poop that doesn't come out of the cow. Like I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. Like ridiculous things that you'd be doing for the first time.
Right, and then the question is does that become, is that really more what our show is? Should that be part of our show, or is that like a scripted show? Tracy Bender-Schisler is saying, like, added into this is eating, it was when you were eating the cupcakes. Judy1534 says take Jenna to an ice cream shop. It could be.
You guys are trying to make my fat.
So Mike Rowe, so Kaiser Sose says that Mike Rowe already did it. So since Mike Rowe already did it, that's a good idea. There's a whole bunch of people who do eating shows. I'm on the board of a company that did the Bizarre Foods thing. So there's a whole bunch of people with eating shows. There's all of these different things out there.
Yeah, so you're saying that's successful, that we shouldn't do it?
I'm saying that they're successful, and why not? Why shouldn't we do that? But it's basically getting out and doing getting out of our comfort zone. And this was just my idea for one example of what a show would be. So we could basically, just to sort of finish up my example, and then we can go on to everybody else's example, and I'm assuming my example is not going to be the one that we should go. Lance, I think we should beat up Connor like Ellen beats up her producer Andy. That was...
I've tried to, but Lance gets a little bit hurt.
Why? When you beat up Connor?
No, I'm not beating up Connor. I would be beating up you. You're my Andy.
Right, no, but that was... I was just reading.
Lance knows Andy, but doesn't want to call him.
Interestingly enough, Andy was the first person to work for me.
Right, which is why don't you just call him?
Okay, so I will just call him, but he lives in LA. So let me try to...
Oh, that's right. Long distance.
What? I'm going to save the money. Yeah, so actually when he's in New York.
There's no long distance fees in calling California. It's the same as calling New Jersey.
Okay, so Tracy Bender-Schisler says, I want to see you make your healthy foods. And so to sort of just finish up my idea that I wanted to try to develop. So what I wanted to try to develop was this idea that we jumped forward 10 years and we were able to walk into a McDonald's that was really a McJenna. And people went into McDonald's, and instead of getting the food that they get today and not having any healthy eating opportunities, they walked into a McDonald's 10 years from now. So we basically, we have a fictional McDonald's in 2027. We walk into a fictional McDonald's in 2027, and you drive up to the drive-through, and at this fictional McDonald's, the order taker actually understands when you say egg whites.
Right, but where's the comedy? What's the sitcom?
The sitcom.
And once you do that once, then what? What do you do in the next episode after you order all your healthy food? Like, so I walk up and I'm like, oh, egg whites and a garden salad.
So basically, the show is about the steps that it took you, the comedic steps.
So the comedic
steps that you took over 10 years. Over the 10 years, what had to happen for you to make McDonald's healthy? So the first thing you had to do was you had to actually eat We actually have the first 2 scenes of this shot already.
Gotcha, I see what you're saying.
Okay, so we've already shot the first 2 scenes of this live on camera. So we've developed this show. The first few segments of this show have already happened. Now we go and we say, okay, here's the third thing that happens. The third thing that happens is we're in the future. Now we have a whole bunch of other things that have to happen. We could reach out to the McDonald's CEO and say, hey, we have a great idea. People should have the opportunity to get healthy food when they get to McDonald's. How do we get that message out to McDonald's? That becomes part of a social media thing that we do. It's live, it's interactive.
I wonder though what if McDonald's says no, and then we're shut down. So why limit ourselves to McDonald's? There's like 100 fast food places. And are you seeing
Judy1534 says, I like the McJenna idea.
We're really tied into McDonald's, but if McDonald's for whatever reason has no interest in working with us, there's other
Burger
places.
King, there's Nathan's. How does Nathan's become bigger than McDonald's? By actually adopting.
Right. So let's not just do McDonald's.
So that's why that the whole idea here is this is open up to everybody. This is about a discussion. This is about my idea is going to get rejected. I know my idea is going to get rejected.
Maybe not.
But I wanted to have a discussion where the whole thing takes place along the lines of everybody's contributing. We're doing this thing together.
All right, let's get some comments.
Eliza Horner says, why can't McDonald's just be McDonald's? Why reinvent them?
I kind of agree. Why don't we just come up with our own place instead of trying to make everything else fit in? Be the first to make a fast food drive-through place.
Sitcom, Jenna is a goofy, Kramerish health nut hanging out with her friends, her normal friends, Lance.
Her normal friends.
And going places. Okay, Crystal Lane says, okay, I see where he's going with this. What if Jenna goes to odd places like McDonald's and gets people to break out into random exercise right there in a restaurant or in the candy shop?
People are fixated on me just making people work.
Eating in a fast food place while on a treadmill.
Oh my God, you guys.
Pilates in McDonald's, says Kaiser Sose.
They don't want me to work out.
Judy1534, I travel a lot and not easy to find healthy food on the run. Glukert V says, stick to real people trying to start a healthy life. LOL on the McJenna. A show debunking foods that are supposedly healthy. Darren says, this sounds like Jackass now, which has been a show that really worked. Talking to folks around town. I'm just reading the random ideas here.
I'm listening to you read the random ideas.
How about a movie, Jenna?
A movie?
Do new things. Go to sell something in Times Square. Jenna can go into the streets and get people to exercise.
Do you know what I've always wanted to do, to be honest? Is go into Times Square and put a little hat down and then play one song on a guitar and see if anything happens. Or do a skill, do a handstand and see if anyone puts money.
And that becomes a show.
And that becomes a show.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And pick out, you know what we do? Here, I think I got it. People nominate 64.
Show ideas.
Nope. 64 little talents you can do just standing up in Times Square. And the winner, or we take 10 of them that you guys nominate, we go into Times Square, we do it 10 days for 20 minutes, and we see which one generates the most cash or the most money just from doing that one thing, and that person wins. Like, that's a cool idea. We have access to Times Square, we have access to people's ideas, we have access to someone who's semi-talented and can do a number of different things athletically, musically, and otherwise. Reading poetry, playing the guitar, doing a handstand, doing burpees, whatever it is we do for 5 minutes, put the money down. You guys come up with the ideas, and let's see how much money. And the winner is the person that makes the most money.
Now you're beginning to understand the General Will Show the way I
No,
understand.
no, that's a good idea.
That's exactly what I wanted to do. Was come
Right,
up with
get
a
that
good idea.
down.
What was the idea again? Let's take it, and I can go back and watch the video, but I want you to come up with an idea again.
We come up with
synthesize it.
Everyone comes up with an idea of something I can do for 5 minutes.
A
skill.
Jenna talent.
A Jenna talent or a skill. Anything. Playing the guitar, cooking something. I mean,
a Jenna
something that
talent.
doesn't require
64
much.
Jenna talents. Potentially 64.
Potentially. We'll see if that can work.
So
we'll
why do we
narrow
need
it
the
down
64?
to the final 4.
We're going to do it. We're going to vote on it through brackets.
Let's
Okay,
try
I
that.
like
Let's
that.
see
That's completely consistent with our show.
Okay, so we'll narrow it down to the final 4. For 4 days in a row, we'll take 1 week. Okay? And every day for those 4 days, we will go to Times Square, or where there's a ton of people, and I'm going to do that skill with a bucket in front of me for 5 minutes? Whatever it is.
No, let's make it really. Let's
10
make
minutes?
it a half hour.
Well, if I'm doing burpees, I'll kill myself, but generally, okay.
Yeah. But well, that's actually, we'll have a half an hour. If the burpee idea wins, then you do your burpees for a few minutes and you sit there.
Okay, and then we see which one wins, and then we come back, and that's where I need some help. What about what?
Okay, so.
So now we have those 4 talents. We see that, say it was burpees, and burpees got me the most money.
Right.
Now we're still in the final 4. And then we compare that with the one that actually win. Or people guess that the contest is not which talent skill do you like better, which one would net the most money.
Why did this become a contest?
Because I think that's what's fun about it. That's what makes for good TV.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
what
a
people want to
contest.
see. They can root. They egg on. They see who's winning.
Okay.
That. I think that's part of the show. You keep checking in. You see who's ahead. You see who's winning. But the bracket becomes not just 64 ideas of what Jenna can do. 64 ideas of what people what's the one skill you think will make the most money that what Jenna would do. You know what I mean?
Right. So the most dollars. So and
Not
then
just
people,
I like jumping rope more than I like Jenna doing this, but maybe this makes the most money. So people think I'll make more money doing this in Times Square than jumping rope, even though jumping rope is a cooler thing to do.
Right.
Okay, so now we have your final 4.
So we have your final 4.
I go do the final 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Well,
And then
Kaiser Sose says he likes the McDonald's in the future, by the way. So we'll have your idea, we'll have my idea, we'll see who's better rankings.
Yeah, but I don't know how to do your idea. There is no McDonald's in the future.
Well, we figure it out. It's
Okay.
part of the show. So we take your thing, so let's finish up. I like your thing a lot.
I don't know what to do with this. So now we have the final 4. We go do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then on Friday we announce the winner. But what is that? I don't know how it ends.
So why not just see which one? Why is that not the ending? Whichever one
Because
raises
we're going to
the
be
most
stuck
money.
with the final 4 on a bracket. Do we not play it out?
The final 4. No, you have the final 4. You go do the 4 exercises, and whichever
Yeah.
one of the final 4
Yeah.
generates the most money wins.
Oh, there's no championship. We
It's
just
not a
do-
championship. You do those 4 things.
So instead of the bracket ends at 4.
Yeah, it's a free for all.
Okay, the bracket.
Then you
ends
get it
at
into
4.
just a rated thing.
I like that. Or we don't have to go to Times Square. You know where we could go? Well, I think you have to get permission anywhere we go. The subway station at 59th Street down there. Would be kind of cool too.
Why do we have to get permission?
You have to get permission to. You can't just.
You think all those people who put those things out, they get permission?
Yes.
Would
Look
they?
it up.
But if you put you think
for
of people in
filming?
Times Square who are walking around taking selfies with
No,
people?
no, those people don't.
But we're going to Times Square.
But this way you can stay indoors. But okay, you want to do
Oh,
that.
oh,
I
okay.
thought if we go down in that subway station, where all that activity is. But we'll go to Times Square. I don't care.
Yeah, I think let's go to Times Square.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So those are some show ideas. Do new things, sell something in Times Square. Pick people from the crowd and do relay races. Too crowded, dangerous. Crowded and dangerous.
That's our game.
That's what we're doing. Is we want it makes it live
Listen,
TV.
can I just tell you guys? A lot of you guys say grab random people and do exercises, or walk into a restaurant, get everyone to work out. I've done that so many times. Like I've tried to do that at the Today Show. No one wants to do that. Nobody wants to. Like if you're sitting down eating and some random person came up to you was like, "Hurry up, get up, let's work out." No, nobody wants to work out. So I love the thought and I love the motive behind it. Nobody wants to do that. No one wants to randomly come to you from across the street. It's never like that on shows. We approach people. Our producer approaches people, tells them we're going to do it. Then they randomly walk down the street, and then it makes it look like they were surprised. But nobody likes to just randomly work out, besides myself, of course.
So perfect. So we're basically tomorrow.
No, we pick a week. We do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
We need to pick out the 64.
Do it tomorrow.
64 things to do.
The 64 things to do that we would put in the bracket to have voting on.
I don't know if we have time tomorrow. We can do it Monday.
We don't have time.
And we'll do it the following week.
Okay. So right now, I'm just saying that we want to end now, right? Because we want to do the supermarket segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or we got 5. Yeah.
But we're not going to come up with 64 ideas in 5 minutes. That's my point. So
That's
We
fine.
can blow off, if you want to blow off the supermarket and come up with the ideas, we can do that. I'm
that's
up
cool.
to you.
So
We need to get stuff. If
Then
we
we
blow
just-
off that, then we blow off the thing tomorrow.
Right. So I'll let Lance, you're the producer.
we can't buy the things.
You want to go, can I give you the list? Will you buy them? Because I have to run at 3.
So
We could stay. And then I'm going to Lumineers tonight. I just don't have any other time tonight. So
right.
we
So
can
let's just
keep
so let's
going
just stay
here.
on. Let's not. We can do this on Monday. Like there's no urgency
Up
to
to
this.
you.
Let's do this on Monday. Like we'll have this segment. We'll do the 64, and then we can go to the
Okay.
park. So let's do.
So
this.
I want to make a
Let's stay with the plan.
super. I want to share with you my Super Bowl meal dish that I make every year for the Super Bowl. It's super healthy, ridiculously filling, and fun. So unlike yesterday, we were completely prepared. Connor has a list of ingredients. So we're gonna break down, zip down to the supermarket. Prep time, meal time is 15 minutes for this. But we have to go shop for the food first, and then tomorrow we're gonna put it together. And you know what we'll do? We'll put the ingredient list. Maybe we'll put the ingredient list online so people can either make it with us or get the ingredients and do it themselves. It'll be fun. I'm terrible in the kitchen, so you'll bear with me. It'll be amazing. All right, guys. See you in a second. Connor, did you look at YouTube?
Yeah.
Good?
Good.